Hey Bougie click. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a topic that hits close to home for many of us, the phenomenon of pick-me women and how they can be toxic friends. We'll be using the iconic show Sex and the City as a case study to explore how these patterns manifest in relationships, particularly through the character of Carrie Bradshaw. From neglecting her friends to seeking approval from inconsistent partners, Carrie's journey sheds light on the broader implications of this behavior. So, if you've ever experienced the impact of pick-me dynamics firsthand, this video is for you. Let's unpack the costs of seeking validation and discover how we can break the cycle for healthier, more fulfilling relationships. Stick around!
I'ma make you a fan.
Why pick-me women are toxic friends, the cost of seeking validation, a Sex and the City case study. In the complex landscape of relationships, some women find themselves caught in a cycle of seeking validation from men at the expense of their friendships. These women, often referred to as pick-me's, prioritize their romantic relationships over their friendships even when the men they are involved with do not reciprocate the same level of effort or care. This behavior not only strains their friendships but also perpetuates a cycle of dependency and low self-worth. The dynamics of a pick-me. A pick-me is a woman who will go to great lengths to gain approval from men, often at the expense of her own needs and the well-being of her friends. These women may move men into their homes after only a few months of dating, despite having children who could be affected by this decision. They may also agree to financially burdensome arrangements, such as going 50-50 on expenses, even when the man is not contributing equally. I once had a coworker who had 10 kids with several baby daddies. She did not have anywhere to live and had to stay with family. I felt sorry for her and started giving her rides home because she had to walk to work, and we formed a friendship. She started using me, asking me for money and for rides all around without offering me gas money. At first it didn't bother me because I knew her situation, but I soon found out she was dating a man in jail who was engaged to another woman, and she was prostituting herself to send him money in jail. I immediately ghosted her. The craziest part was every time I came to her house with food, her children would stare at me and ask for food like they were starving. Tupac said the realest people don't have a lot of friends and pick-me's always have a lot of friends. The realest people often don't have a lot of friends because they value authenticity and genuine connections over superficial relationships. They are selective about who they let into their inner circle, preferring a few meaningful friendships over a large number of acquaintances. On the other hand, fake people tend to have many friends because they often say what others want to hear and avoid conflict to maintain a wide social circle, even if it's built on insincerity. Similarly, pick-me's usually have a lot of friends because they seek validation and approval from others, often at the expense of their own values and needs. This eagerness to please can lead them to surround themselves with many people, even if the relationships aren't deeply fulfilling or genuine. The impact on friendships. One of the most troubling aspects of this behavior is how it affects friendships. Women who are pick-me's often use their friends for support, whether it be emotional, financial, or practical, while giving little in return. They may make their friends feel guilty for not helping them with their children or money, yet they do not hold their romantic partners to the same standards. This creates an imbalance in the friendship, where one person is constantly giving while the other is taking. While I believe there is nothing wrong with putting your romantic relationship first, especially if you are dating for marriage or if you are already married. However, using other women to keep a dusty around is crazy. Some women put pressure on other women to do what their man should be doing. For instance, not putting their baby daddies on child support who want nothing to do with their children because they secretly want them back or are currently still sleeping with them but are constantly begging for money or childcare and making people feel guilty for not helping them. Then there are the women who are going 50-50 with men they are dating or married to who can't fully contribute financially because they are saving for some imaginary thing they never seem to have enough money to get. While the women put no pressure on these men for fear of losing them, they will put immense pressure on family and friends to pick up his slack. The case study of Carrie Bradshaw. Carrie Bradshaw, the protagonist of Sex and the City, serves as a fascinating example of pick-me behavior, particularly in how she navigates her romantic relationships at the expense of her friendships and self-worth. Throughout the series, Carrie consistently prioritizes her tumultuous relationship with Mr. Big, often overlooking her friends' needs and feelings. One significant instance occurs in the episode I Heart New York, where Carrie cancels plans with her friends to spend time with Mr. Big before his move to Napa. This decision not only leaves her friends feeling neglected but also underscores Carrie's willingness to sacrifice her friendships for a man who has repeatedly shown inconsistency and emotional unavailability. It showcases a pattern where she seeks validation from Mr. Big, often at the cost of her relationships with Charlotte, Miranda, and Samantha. Another moment of pick-me behavior is seen in the episode The Post-it Always Sticks Twice. When Mr. Big abruptly ends their relationship via a post-it note, Carrie is devastated but quickly becomes desperate to win him back. She engages in self-deprecating behavior, questioning her worth and making excuses for his actions. Instead of leaning on her friends for support, she fixates on Mr. Big's approval, demonstrating how deeply her self-esteem is tied to his affection. In A Vogue Idea, Carrie is ecstatic when she receives a call from Mr. Big, even though he is dating someone else at the time. Despite the inappropriate nature of his attention, she feels special and valued, momentarily sidelining her friends' concerns in their attempts to help her move on. This scenario highlights her tendency to overlook red flags in her relationships while seeking to be the one he ultimately chooses. Furthermore, in The One, Carrie attends a party where Mr. Big is present, even though she knows it might be emotionally taxing. She dresses up and puts on a brave face, hoping to rekindle something, despite the fact that she has just gotten out of a relationship with Aiden. Her eagerness to impress Mr. Big demonstrates her willingness to put herself in uncomfortable situations for the sake of his attention, further alienating her friends who are genuinely concerned for her well-being. Carrie also exhibits pick-me tendencies in her interactions with Aiden. Although he is a caring partner, she often finds herself drawn back to Mr. Big, dismissing Aiden's genuine love and support. In the episode The Good Fight, when she chooses to meet with Mr. Big despite being in a relationship with Aiden, it reflects her struggle to prioritize a healthy relationship over a toxic one that feeds her need for drama and validation. Overall, Carrie's pick-me behavior underscores a broader narrative about the complexities of love, validation, and friendship. Her patterns illustrate how easily one can become trapped in a cycle of seeking approval from a romantic partner while neglecting the solid support system provided by friends. The double standard. Carrie's behavior highlights the double standard that often exists in pick-me dynamics. While she expects her friends to provide unwavering support, she does not hold Mr. Big to the same standards. These women often let their romantic partners get away with doing the bare minimum, while they bend over backwards to keep the relationship intact. They may pay their partner's way, cover expenses, and make significant sacrifices, all in the name of maintaining the relationship. Meanwhile, they expect their friends to provide support and assistance without question. This double standard can lead to resentment and strain in friendships, as friends feel used and undervalued. The cycle of dependency. The behavior of a pick-me often stems from a profound need for validation and approval from men. This situation can worsen when the men involved show little effort in the relationship. Contributing factors may include low self-esteem, previous experiences of rejection, or societal expectations to be in a relationship. By placing these dusty romantic connections above their friendships and connections with people who actually value them, these women create a cycle of dependency, tying their self-worth to their partner's minimal approval. Unfortunately, they seldom receive the validation they crave, as these men do not truly appreciate them. This lack of mutual effort fosters unhealthy relationships and poor decision-making, as they continue to invest in men who do not offer the same level of commitment and care. The consequences. The consequences of being a pick-me can be profound and long-lasting, impacting various aspects of a woman's life. Often, these women find themselves in relationships that lack fundamental respect and appreciation, which can lead to significant emotional distress and even financial instability. By prioritizing the approval of a partner over their own needs and self-worth, they may unknowingly create an environment where they are taken for granted. This imbalance can extend beyond romantic relationships. Friendships may deteriorate as well, leaving these women feeling isolated and unsupported. The emotional turmoil they experience can ripple through their lives, affecting not only their mental health but also their overall quality of life. Moreover, the repercussions of this behavior can affect the next generation. Children raised in environments characterized by instability and poor boundaries may struggle with their own relationships and self-esteem. For women who adopt the pick-me mentality, it often seems as though everyone around them is merely a pawn in their quest for validation from a man who may not reciprocate their affections. This dynamic reinforces a cycle of insecurity and dependency, ultimately depriving them of the genuine connections and self-respect that are essential for a fulfilling life. Recognizing these patterns is crucial for breaking free from the damaging cycle of seeking validation at the expense of one's own worth and well-being. Breaking the cycle. To effectively break the cycle of being a pick-me, women must prioritize building their self-worth and establishing healthy boundaries. It's perfectly normal to seek approval and validation from your romantic partner, but it should be a two-way street. You shouldn't be bending over backwards while they do the bare minimum. They should want your approval and validation as well. However, seeking validation at the expense of friendships, family, and your own well-being can lead to unhealthy dynamics and a sense of unfulfillment. By fostering strong connections with friends and valuing those relationships, women can create a solid foundation from which they can navigate romantic interactions. It's crucial to hold potential partners to the same standards as friends, ensuring that relationships are based on mutual respect and support rather than one-sided admiration or dependency. In addition to nurturing self-worth, women should learn to let a man earn their affection genuinely. This means not rushing into relationships or ignoring red flags simply for the sake of companionship. By being discerning and recognizing when a man is not truly invested, women can avoid the heartache of one-sided relationships. It's essential to understand the signs that indicate a lack of genuine interest. When a partner doesn't reciprocate effort or affection, it's a clear signal that he may not be that into you. By maintaining these standards and valuing themselves, women can ensure they attract partners who appreciate them fully, leading to healthier, more fulfilling relationships. Women who prioritize their romantic relationships over their friendships, often at the expense of their own well-being and the well-being of their friends, are the ultimate pick-me's. This behavior creates a cycle of dependency and low self-worth, leading to unhealthy relationships and strained friendships. By focusing on self-worth and setting healthy boundaries, women can break this cycle and create more balanced and fulfilling relationships. Thank you all for tuning into today's discussion on pick-me women and their impact on friendships. We've explored how seeking validation from men can lead to toxic dynamics that not only strain relationships but also perpetuate cycles of dependency and low self-worth. Remember, it's essential to prioritize genuine connections and set healthy boundaries to foster fulfilling friendships. If you found this video insightful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more content, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Have you experienced similar situations, or do you have tips for maintaining healthy friendships? Let's continue the conversation. Until next time, take care and value those real connections. What do you think? Are pick-me women toxic friends? Let me know in the comments section. Stay bougie. Follow and support me. All links in bio. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Check description for more info. New episodes every day.